Hello friends, Susan here. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am here to inspire your creativity and help you grow. Today I want to feature some of our gorgeous designer series paper. This card, you can see the main focus on the card is the paper. We have so many beautiful papers that it's very, very easy to assemble a card with minimal other stamping. This doesn't even have any stamping on the outside, and create an absolutely stunning look for your card. Now, the designer series papers that this comes with, they're very nice and sturdy and thick. They're not really thin and kind of chintzy like some papers can be. So they're very, very fun to work with. This is called the Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper, and it is one of our papers that's going to be retiring at the end of this month. So if you don't already have this in your collection, it's definitely something you might want to get. This makes an incredible cards, slicing it this way and then this way for whatever size panels you want. And this is the flip side. Some just really beautiful muted green tones in Mossy Meadow. This is our kind of purples and reds combined. We have Blackberry Bliss and Poppy Parade in this one. And we have another, just kind of a random wash that looks like it's been faded from water and the sun. These are the bright red on the poppies. Love this. You know, Poppy Parade was one of my least favorite colors until I started pairing it with some other things that I liked. Now I love it. It's so bright and fun. Look at that beautiful background. Very, very soft and subtle. And it just looked like somebody splattered water all over it. This is another one, and this is featuring Old Olive in the greens and Blackberry Bliss or Rich Razzleberry in the flower colors themselves. And here's another, just a beautiful background. I mean, you hate to cover one up because they're so pretty. This is another that is similar to this one, but we've added some color in the background and changed the flower colors. Look at that. It's the exact same pattern. All we did was change the colors. And then on the back side, this is a great backdrop. It'll be perfect for a scrapbook page. It's just wonderful and big and bold and bright, and it has just enough of watercolor wash in there to give it a very artsy look for you. Okay, so to get started with my card, I am going to use a couple of dies today and an embossing folder. Now the embossing folder that I'm going to use is this one, and this is called the Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. And it is a part of this suite that is an early release in the catalog. This will be all available in the new catalog, but you can purchase it now because I promise you when that catalog comes out, there's going to be so many gorgeous things in it. You're going to want absolutely everything there is. So you can get the entire suite with just one item number here for $136.75, or you can individually choose what you would like. There is a stamp set with these beautiful Ornate Layers dies. You can get them combined together as a bundle for 10% off. There is this embossing folder, some lovely ribbons, and these gilded gems, which I've used in previous projects. I can't talk today. Are really pretty. Gorgeous gold color. The Ornate Thanks bundle, you can purchase the stamp set separately and the border dies separately, or if you buy them both together, you get 10% off your bundle again. And then there is the paper, which I have featured previously as well. I love the designer series paper. So this is definitely something you might want to get on your wish list if you haven't already. And I'm going to put these aside. We're also going to use a couple of dies in this card. We are using the Poppy Moments dies. They are returning in the new catalog. And there's a lot of images that comes with this. All these big, bold, beautiful flowers and leaves and their detailed centers. The one piece we're going to use out of it is this poppy, though. So we're going to use that piece. And then we're also going to use these stitched shapes dies. And with this you have circles, ovals, and then if I flip it over, squares. And yes, it all falls out because I need to put them on magnet sheets. And this is the circle that we're actually going to use for this card. So I have 2 dies that I'm using and 1 embossing folder, and that's about it. The rest of the focus on this card is paper. That's what is so cool. It's paper. Okay, so my base here is Blackberry Bliss, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I am going to line up those edges because sometimes the score line is not quite where it should be. So always kind of check your edges before you push. And then using my bone folder, I drag it with just this part touching it so that I don't get that shiny line that's kind of unattractive. All right, and then next I'm going to start sticking my layers together here. So I've got these cut so that I get a little bit wider border. I wanted to see more of the background Blackberry Bliss so that it brings out that dark blackberry color in the flowers. Now, Liquid Tombow is my glue of choice, as you know if you've watched my other videos, because it's just so easy to be able to reposition and move things around if I'm not straight, and it holds so beautifully. It's so humid here in Missouri that I find that if I don't make sure cards are put together well, that sometimes they kind of fall apart. Okay, now here I've cut just a tiny little strip out of Blackberry Bliss, and I embossed it in that folder. And I actually made a bunch of them when I did it. And I just cut all the strips and then laid them in the folder and ran them through all at one time. So I want to lay it basically right across the center of my little white strip here. So I'm just going to put it down there like so. Whoops. All right, I think that's on. Scooch it over a little because it's liquid glue. I can do that. And then I'm just going to glue it flat to this piece of my card front. And I don't know, let's put it about, oh, maybe about there, I guess. Okay, I have it cut, whoops, that moved, so that it goes all the way to the edge of the white layer. So it kind of gives the impression that maybe it's wrapping itself around, even though it isn't actually doing that. All right, it's a little low, but it's kind of starting to stick. So because I don't want to redo, I'm going to call it good. Okay, this is going to go on my card front with dimensionals. Not a must. There's no reason you couldn't glue it down flat if you wanted to. You certainly could. That didn't go on there right. But I think when you use dimensionals, you do give it a lot of interest. And it changes it. It's the difference between a flat, simple card that maybe you could go buy at the dime store and this beautiful handmade crafted card. I like to say handcrafted because handmade sometimes makes you think, oh, handmade, hand-me-downs, you know, kind of cheap. There's nothing about our cards that is cheap or tacky looking. We create beautiful, stunning pieces of artwork. And you have to remember that every card you make is a piece of artwork. All right, get that out of the way. And now I've gone ahead and cut out my stitched circle and my beautiful flower. But before I put it on there, I'm going to take some Wink of Stella here, and I'm just going to give it a little pop and shimmer. Just going to paint over that. Wink of Stella is definitely my favorite go-to for shine and shimmer. I like things that shimmer. And I did not put rhinestones or anything on this card. Obviously, this is the kind of card that you could dress up or keep really simple, dressing it down by not even using the Wink of Stella. You could easily do that. Now I'm going to put a little glue here, and then I'm going to squeeze just enough so that it's kind of on the tip, but I'm not actually squeezing while I'm tapping because I want just a smidgen of glue on these really thin edges. Another way to do this, if you're not confident with your glue tip here, is to squirt a little bit onto a surface like a paper plate or an empty button container, and then tap a sponge in it very lightly, and then very lightly tap it on the back. Look how pretty that is, and so simple, so easy to do. Now I'd also like to make these have a little shimmer, just for fun. Maybe not every one, and I'm not worrying about coloring them perfectly. Sometimes people feel like, oh, I have to paint, you know, every single piece. You really don't. All you want is just hints of shimmer showing up in your background. Some of our background papers have that gorgeous shimmer built in. And in this case, I'm just going to kind of add it because I think it's really pretty. Okay. We are done with that. Now I'm going to put dimensionals on this one. See where my flower is here, because I want them to be above and below. And I'll pull the backs off those. These are coming off really nice and easy. Oops, sorry for bumping the camera. And then I'm just going to position it. Let's don't turn it quite so much, right about there. I think that's gorgeous. It's a very, very simple card, but it really has an impact because of that paper and those flowers. Now my inside piece is just plain Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss ink to stamp with, as that is the color of my card base. And the sentiment I'm using comes from the Beautiful You stamp set. That is another one of our stamp sets that has been in the catalog for a few years, but it is going to retire. So it's something you really probably want to have in your collection. Wishing you brighter days to come. I thought that was extremely appropriate right now, just with our quarantine, staying at home issues that we have. It also works really well for anybody that you know is struggling with anything in their world. It is a 2-part set, 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. Has these gorgeous ladies and some beautiful sentiments here. This is definitely a must-have in your collection. Okay, now I have also cut myself an extra strip of this designer paper, which, you know what? I need to make it shimmery. Pop and shimmer. Yay. Anybody else out there like shimmer? I'm a glitter girl. Glitter from the word go. If it shines, I go, ooh, pretty. Excuse me. All right. Now, normally, I like to put this somewhere over here, which I could do. I could do this, but I think, I apologize. My throat gets dry. This is like the 3rd video I've done in a row today. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to put it on the other side. So I'm just going to put this in here with the crisp white edges, nice and straight. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it over here. I'm not going to do it dead center. I have cut it to 5 1/2, and I want to say it's about 1 inch. It is, it's 1 inch. And I think I'm going to put it, and you see I am using my grid lines to line myself up here. You have to be straight though, or it's not going to work. Let's put it about right there. Okay. And then I always kind of pull back and look and see, because sometimes I was a little off with my positioning. But look how pretty that is. It just gives it a little more pop when you open your card. So don't forget about this side of your card. It's always fun to decorate both sides. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button and leave me a comment. Let me know you were here. That's how I know that I've got some visitors watching. And if you would please subscribe, then you're going to know every time that I post a video. I am available for classes and product purchases. So if you have any of these things that you just have to have, which for me, that's most of them, I would be happy to help you. You can go directly to my online store at smilesacrossthemiles.stampinup.net. And you can also join my Facebook group, Sending Smiles Across the Miles with Susan Byington. And I'm going to share a lot more tips and tricks and videos and card samples there. Hopefully I can inspire you to make a card and send someone a smile today. Bye.